Hey guys, thanks for logging on, and I just wanted to show you all a watch that I've had for a little while now. This is the Tag Heuer F1, and this is the automatic version. So I've had a lot of F1s. I really like this series, but this is my first automatic, and I really like it a lot. I think it has a lot of positives and just a couple of negatives, and I think it's a really interesting, really well-made watch that offers a lot of bang for the buck. We'll get more into it. Let me set the time first. The time is 9:42 on the 9th. So let me unscrew the crown, screw down crown, and it's really interesting. It's really well made. Kind of a different looking crown, and so I'll give it a couple of winds like that. And then I think it's already on the 8th. So see, look, that little indentation, the red mark lets me kind of grab it like that. Look how well made. I mean, like Tag Heuer crowns are just superbly well made, as good as Rolex, as good as Audemars Piguet, frankly, and I own both of those brands. The crown tube is just really awesome. Hacking seconds, of course. It's got a pretty basic movement. I think that is a slight letdown in this price range. These go for around 1,500, 1,700. Quick set date, of course. And there you go, it just crossed over, and so the time is 9:40 something. Just really easy to manipulate. But yeah, the power reserve is kind of low. It's less than 40 hours, and other brands do offer you a lot more in terms of movement. I mean, for example, Longines offers you a lot of power reserve and a really nice movement. So, that's I guess that's the first kind of letdown, and I hate to start the video with that. But the movement is definitely some place where they cut some costs. One place they definitely didn't cut costs though is the construction of the watch case itself, or the head of the watch. The bezel, great action, not much play in it. Ceramic, so that's a really nice touch. Look how well made the dial is. Applied markers everywhere, lume everywhere, and it's got this beautiful sunburst satin finish. So that looks look at that. It just plays with the light beautifully. It's just a really nicely made dial. The bezel, like I said, is excellent. The case is so well finished. I mean, so well finished. And so they spent a lot of money on the watch case, the bezel itself. The crown is excellent. The hands are really well made. Just super legible, super nice watch. The crown, I mean, the bezel is excellent. It's unidirectional. Kind of that doesn't make a lot of sense to me on a F1 style watch, but it is what it is. It's 200 meters water resistance also, so I mean that's awesome. And then let's see here. Does that marker line up? Really does. It lines up really well. So yeah, no complaints about the watch head itself. But the bracelet is another spot where they saved some money. It's got a twin trigger action. So it says Tag Heuer on the clasp there. It's stamped metal. That's okay, I guess. But at this price range, you're really expecting a little bit more maybe. Lug width, weird, typical tag, so it's 21.5 millimeter lug width, but I wish the bracelet had a little bit more taper too. It goes from 21.5 to 20, so that is a little bit of a letdown on this watch too. So to summarize the watch quickly, I would say that the construction and the design of the watch head itself, the casing of the watch, is superb. I mean, you can just tell they spent 75% of the money on this watch, on the dial, the bezel, the finishing of the case, the crown, all of those tactile things. Those are really nice. But where they saved some money, I think, is using a very basic 38-hour power reserve, just generic Swiss automatic movement. That's a little bit of a letdown for me, because I've really gotten to a point where I'm expecting to have power reserves of, 48, 62 hours now. And so the movement is a place where they saved a little bit of money, and the bracelet is a miss for me. I mean, I don't think it's really well made, but it's functional, I guess. Let me put it on the wrist. We'll keep talking about it. Okay, give me a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let me get the Tag Heuer F1 on the wrist. I have a trusty Seiko on today. And be on the lookout for a review of this watch in the near future. A newer Seiko, actually. This is the SLA055 I received in a trade. And I'm pleasantly surprised by this one. This one is not a dud like a lot of high-end Seikos are. So like I said, be on the lookout for a review of this one. Let me put it to the side, and then we'll check out the Tag Heuer. So there you can see it on the wrist. Clasp on the bracelet, a little bit finicky, but it gets the job done. And I think it just looks really good. I mean, the looks are just really correct on this watch. You know, especially looking at the watch head, the watch face itself. I mean, it looks expensive. And when you're paying over $1,000 for a watch, I think that matters a lot. Crystalline sapphire, and just you know, the size and the fit of the watch I think are just excellent. It's a very modern, very stylish watch, but it still has a lot of like classic design cues. For example, you know, you have the contrast of the bezel, and then you have like the reflection off the dial. I think it just makes for a really nice package. It's very easy to wear. You know, the watch is thin, and if you're going to be wearing it daily, then the low power reserve is not going to bother you. You know, I mean, that's something that's not going to be a big deal for you. The crown doesn't dig in at all, and overall, it's just a really good package. You know, in this price range between, I don't know, I guess I would say $1,200 and $1,700. I mean, there's a lot of competition, and it just depends on what you're looking for. I think, and I'll continue to say this, you know, a lot of buying a watch is about the branding, you know, especially when you're going to buy a Swiss-made watch. And so, you know, the brand cachet of something like a Tag Heuer is going to be naturally greater than the cachet of like a Longines or a Tissot. You know, if you're trying to impress somebody, like trying to impress that you know, impress your date, then I think there is something to be said for, and I know this from experience because I have been in the you know, in that situation where I am trying to impress a date. You know, hey, this whole thing, this is a Tag Heuer. Oh, you want to look at it? Sure, no problem. As opposed to like, hey, this, it's a Seiko. It's like a Japanese brand. And you know, even though they have cheap ones, they have really expensive ones, and they have a grand. You know, so it doesn't translate as well, I think, in those situations when you're trying to impress somebody to have something like this, which is a much more expensive watch and frankly a much better watch, as opposed to this. If the goal is to say, hey, listen, ooh, look at me, I'm so cool. Let's go out on another date because I have a tag. So, I mean, just understand what that analogy is. So I think the brand cachet works really well for Tag. I think they coast a little bit on that brand cachet, but I like the watch overall. In fact, I really like the watch. You know, it's an automatic F1. If I was buying an F1 right now, though, having owned the quartz ones and having owned this one, I don't know if I would spend the premium for the automatic. I think the quartz gives you all of that plus a little bit more. You know, and the quartz has a lot of other fun, funky colors, but I do like the automatic. I think the automatic comes across as a lot more grown up. Let me say that. You know, it's not like that bright orange color. It doesn't have like those bright pops of color. Rather, it's a more muted look. It's a more adult look. And the watch does it for me. You know, it's something that I can throw on and just enjoy and not worry about. It makes a really good travel watch for me. So, like I said, it's a great watch. It's really well made. I don't love it at retail or like gray market prices. You know, those are going to run you around. You know, the Tag Heuer costs money, so you know those are going to run you around $1,500, $1,700, maybe almost $2,000 on the gray market. You know, I got this one as part of a larger deal, so the actual price I got on this one was under $1,000. I think it's really great value there at like $1,000, $1,200, you know, $1,300. I think the value proposition is definitely there. You know, when you start getting into $1,500, $1,600, that's when it falls off a little bit. The watch has a lot of competition, though. You know, those Longines is coming on strong with their Hydro Conquest line. there's a bunch of German brands that offer kind of like this $1,000 to $1,500 watch. You know, Zinn, of course, is right there. Damasco makes a great watch. You know, and of course, you know, ever-present Seiko has whatever you want at whatever price you want. I'm rambling as usual, but I hope you like this quick look at the Tag Heuer F1, the Calibre 5, or the Calibre 5, I guess. This is the automatic version of the watch. I like it. You know, to me, the watch is a solid B. You know what I mean? It's not quite a B+, but it's not like a C+ either. I think they did such a good job. And I really recommend y'all, if you're interested, if you can see one of these, just hold it. In the amount of time, money, and effort that goes into the watch head is just obvious whenever you look at it, whenever you hold it, whenever you manipulate it. So they put a lot of time and effort into the showy parts of the watch, I guess. Where they kind of you know, phoned it in, I think, is with the movement. Again, you know, it's like the same movement you get in any kind of like you know, entry-level, you know, German watch or entry-level Swiss watch. It's fine, it's adequate, but, you know, for a Tag, ugh, I would love to see a 60-hour power reserve. That would be awesome. So the movement is kind of like a letdown for me. And the bracelet, I don't know. I really wanted to keep it on bracelet, but it's just a little too basic for me. I may go ahead and switch it out to a strap. All right, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going awesome. I'll holler back at y'all later with another video, probably about this watch. This is the SLA055. Has Seiko finally figured out dive watches again? I'll come back with y'all with that information later. All right, guys, God bless. Thank you. Bye.